Good morning, students. Today I will explain you your third chapter of Beehive, The Little Girl. It is written by Catherine Mansfield. In this beautiful story, it is told about Kezia. Kezia, the main character of the story, that is the little girl of the house. In the house, there is a father, mother, and a grandmother, and a maid. The whole story revolves around Kezia. If we say in a short word that the Kezia, uh, that is a little girl wanted her father's attraction. वो अपने पापा का प्यार चाहती है because in her estimations her father is very rude to her, not speak politely and affectionately. As you see, the little girl. As we know that in each family there are parents and child. Okay, they have a relationship with each other. Both of them lived together in a house, but in some families there was not a bond between a parent and a daughter, or parent or a child. So that is seen here. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. To the little girl means Kezia. Here, he is represented here. Her father was a figure to be feared. Was a figure to be feared. Why? Because every time, whenever he came into the house, he spoke rudely to her. So, केसिया के लिए उसके पापा एक ऐसे फिगर थे जिनसे हमेशा डरना चाहिए एंड अवॉइडेड, उनकी प्रेजेंस को अवॉइड करना चाहिए. एवरी मॉर्निंग बिफोर गोइंग टू वर्क ही केम इनटू हर रूम एंड गेव हर अ कैजुअल किस. जब भी उसके फादर काम पे जाते थे, बिफोर दैट ही हैज अ हैबिट टू कम इनटू द रूम of Kezia and gave a casual kiss, and to which she responded with goodbye, goodbye father. To the casual kiss of her father, her response was goodbye father. And oh, there was a great sense of relief, great sense of relief, because now Kezia think that now her father will go and he will be free now. When she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter. Growing fainter and fainter means when a car or a vehicle moves forward from a house, then the noise of that carriage becomes slow. Fainter and fainter means not behosh. Fainter means come down the long road. मीन्स जब उसके फादर उसको गुड बाय करके चले जाते हैं, देन केजिया हैज ए ग्लैड सेंस ऑफ relief. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase uh, and heard his loud voice in the hall. Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper is out there and bring me my slippers. It was a regular routine for her that whenever in the evening her father came home, as usual, he spoke in a loud voice to bring his tea into the drawing room. slippers and demanding for the newspaper. Kezia mother would call to her, "You are a good girl. You can come down and take off father's boots." Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall and push open the drawing room door. When her father called her mother, the mother called Kezia to bring the shoes off of her father, and she would move towards the drawing room very slowly and very slowly. By the time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over there in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. एंड स्पेक्टेकल्स, जब उसके फादर चश्मा पहन के उसकी तरफ देखते हैं तो दैट वाज अ वेरी टेरिफाइंग, डरावना लुक है लिटिल गर्ल के लिए. वेल केसिया, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Don't know father. अब उसके फादर उससे पूछते हैं कि क्या तुम पूरे दिन एक अच्छी गर्ल बन के रही थी. शी रेस्पॉन्ड, आई डोंट नो. That's a normal behavior. Normally we see in the houses that there are the parents who spoke very roughly and brushly to the child. So what was the reaction of the child? That they become very slow in answering, rather they become afraid of answering. जब कोई फादर अपने बच्चों से बहुत फ्रेंडली नहीं होते हैं तो बच्चे उन्हें रिस्पॉन्स करने में डरते हैं. And that fear become very large, and children was not able to react. So that is the happening with that little girl. If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Now the father is saying, if you are not answering in a good way to me, then your mother will take you to the doctor. She never stirred with other pupil, had quite given it up, but only with the father. That's the fact in the life of the Kezia, that whenever she was in front of her father, she became stirred, not with the other pupil, because she had a fear of father to speak her. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about, mother? I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Now her father is saying to the mother that take care of the girl because she is not answering properly, not behaving normally. So it will be better to take care of her. Maybe there is some problem with her. He was so big. Now here's the physical description of Kezia's father. His hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Kezia was a little girl. Moreover, she has a fear of her father. So the big personality of her father is looking like a giant to him. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. On Sunday afternoon, as it is not a working day, so her father was in the house. So her grandmother pushed her to have a nice talk with father and mother, but the little girl always found mother reading, uh, and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face. That was the regular routine of her mother and father, especially on the Sunday afternoons, that her mother is reading the paper and the father is stretching out on the sofa by putting a handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Don't stare on Kezia, you look like a little brown owl. And that was the worst remark given by her father to Kezia, as she was staring on father. Uh, that Kezia is looking like a brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her her father's birthday was next week. That was the main incident, the happening in the house, that one day her grandmother told her that her father's birthday was next week, so she should make a beautiful pin cushion for her father as a birthday gift. Laboriously, with a double cushion, the little girl stitched three sides. As you know, the cushion is of the four sides. Okay, so three sides she stitched it, and on the fourth side, as she has to stitch it, but before that, she has to fill a thing in that. The incidence is that उसकी दादी ने उसको अपने फादर के लिए एक पिन कुशन बनाने के लिए कहा। तो वो फाइन सिल्क से बनाती है इसे, येलो कलर ऑफ द सिल्क। उसकी तीन साइड्स स्टिच कर लेती है। फोर्थ साइड स्टिच करने से पहले उसे उसके अंदर कुछ भरना होता है, तो कुछ भरने के लिए वो अपनी ग्रैंड मदर को ढूंढती है, बट शी कुडंट फाइंड हर। देन मदर इज ऑल्सो बिजी समवेयर। Then after she moved from one place to other place, okay, then on the bed she find some fine sheets, okay, gathered them up, उन्हें उठा लेती है, उनको छोटे छोटे पीसेस में काटती है और उनको स्टफ कर देती है पिन कुशन में और उसको सिल देती है। That night there was a hue and cry in the house. अब वो अपना वो काम करके सो जाती है, रात में खूब घर में शोर मच रहा होता है। Father's great speech for the port authority had been lost. What was the happening there now? कि फादर की बहुत मेहनत से करी हुई स्पीच लिखी हुई थी पोर्ट अथॉरिटीज के लिए, वो खो गई है। Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room. वो पूछती है, केजिया तुमने तो हमारे कमरे में से कोई पेपर नहीं देखे? ओह यस, शी सेड, आई टोर देम अप फॉर माय सरप्राइज। अब वो कहती है कि मैंने उन्हें अपने सरप्राइज गिफ्ट के लिए फाड़ दिया है। What screamed mother, come straight down to the dining room this instant. मदर चीखती हैं बहुत तेजी से उस पर कि इसी वक्त डाइनिंग रूम में आओ। एंड शी वॉज ड्रैग्ड डाउन टू वेयर फादर वॉज pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. अब वो उधर आती है जहाँ पे उसके फादर इधर उधर घूम रहे हैं, अपने हाथ पीछे किए हुए और बहुत परेशान है। Well, he said sharply, mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damned thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. अब उसकी मम्मी फादर को बता देती हैं what happened. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. वो एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश करती है केसिया, बट नॉट एबल टू एक्सप्लेन. आई एम गोइंग टू बीट यू फॉर दिस, ही सेड. Oh no, no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold her hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. अब उसके फादर इस समय बहुत गुस्से में हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा ही गुस्से में हैं, तो वो उसको कहते हैं कि आई एम गोइंग टू बीट यू, मैं तुम्हें मारने जा रहा हूँ इस चीज़ के लिए, ताकि तुम्हें पता चले कि तुम्हें वो चीज़ नहीं छूनी है जो तुम्हें छूने के लिए नहीं कही जाए. बट इट वॉज फॉर योर बर्थडे. डाउन केम द रूलर ऑन हर लिटिल pink palms. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. What did God make fathers for? अब उसके फादर ये नहीं सुनते हैं. That was a birthday surprise and he beated him her on the palm. She cried and cried. After hours later, the grandmother wrapped her in a shawl. Then she said, what did God make fathers for? वो अपनी दादी से ये क्वेश्चन पूछती है कि भगवान ने पापा क्यों बनाए. That was a big question. Many of us also ask this to sometime when we find in our house that parents didn't listen to us, and sometimes we feel that parents are not in our favor. we don't feel our mistake, but what we expect much that parents should understand that our हम अपनी गलती रिकॉग्नाइज ना करके ये उम्मीद करते हैं कि पेरेंट्स हमें समझें. So that's the very fact that normally happens in the society and also in our houses, that whenever we are trying to explain our part but we are not able to explain what is going on, and that's a very crucial part because we are not able to make our parents understand what we are trying to say, and we are not understanding what the parents is saying to us, because the important things, if it is very important, then we should not touch it. This the thing the Kezia's father is saying to her. Has, here is a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose, go to sleep, pet. You will forget all about it in the morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. अब उसकी दादी क्या कहती हैं कि इस वक्त तुम जाओ सो जाओ, बिकॉज इस समय तुम्हारे पापा कोई भी बात नहीं सुनेंगे, तुम सुबह तक भूल जाओगी. बट द चाइल्ड नेवर फॉरगॉट. नेक्स्ट टाइम शी saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and a red color flew into her cheeks. लेकिन वो बच्ची वो बात कभी भी नहीं भूलती है. जब भी वो फिर फादर को देखती है तो वो अपने दोनों हाथ पीछे कर लेती है कि कहीं उसके पापा उसे फिर से हाथों पर ना मारें. The McDonald's lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing. Like in the evening, the father with the baby. उनके घर से सामने के ही नेक्स्ट डोर पर ही एक मैकडोनल्ड्स फैमिली थी जिनके 5 बच्चे थे, और उनके फादर अपने बच्चों के साथ शाम को इवनिंग में खेला करते थे. ऑल द टाइम ही यूज्ड टू लाफ विद द चिल्ड्रन. उसके बच्चे उनके कंधों पर झूले, उनके कोट पर झूले, ओके, उनके चारों तरफ चक्कर लगाएं. लेकिन उनके फादर क्या करते थे? ऑलवेज यूज टू लाफ विद द चिल्ड्रन. By seeing this fact, Kezia used to think that Kezia always think that there were the different sorts of father. Me is different and McDonald's is different. That time, that's very creating problem for the Kezia. Kezia was not able to understand why McDonald's family have so much fun with the father and the children. She always thought that her father didn't speak very well to her. So she thought that there were different kind of fathers. One type of father is that which she is having, and the other type of father what the McDonald's family is having. उसके हिसाब से दो तरह के पापा होते हैं. एक वो जो उसके पापा हैं, जो बहुत रूड बोलते हैं, हार्श बोलते हैं, लाउड वॉइस में बोलते हैं, सोफे पर लेटे रहते हैं, बात नहीं करते हैं, फेस हैंडकरचीफ से ढक लेते हैं, और अगर कोई बात हो जाती है तो फिर रूलर से हाथ पर बहुत जोर से मारते हैं. और दूसरी तरह के पापा होते हैं जो मैकडोनल्ड्स फैमिली के हैं, जो पापा अपने बच्चों के साथ शाम को खूब खेलते हैं और खूब हंसते हैं. That was the cruelty according to Kezia in her life. But her that very feeling did not work for too long. उसकी ये जो फीलिंग है वो बहुत जल्दी ही कन्वर्ट हो जाती है एक सिंपैथी में अपने पापा के लिए. When she used to feel that her father is also having a soft heart that is running and that is having a sympathy for the child. Moreover, he is busy with his work, so he was not able to play with her and not able to speak very politely to her. But he is a good father and have a sympathy for the child. What happened in the next is that at that time the father, at one day, Kezia mother is going to be hospitalized. उसकी mother की तबीयत खराब हो गई and she has to be hospitalized. So Kezia was all alone with her maid Lucy. And when her father came, so Lucy said to her not to disturb her father. But Kezia was in a habit of sleeping with her grandmother. So she was feeling very alone. The maid went to sleep and she was all alone in the room. She has a nightmare. वो एक सपना देखती है कि एक कसाई उसके पास एक चाकू लेके बड़ा सा आ रहा है, वो डरती है और बहुत तेज चिल्लाती है. उसके इस चिल्लाने की वजह से उसके फादर की आंख खुल जाती है and he came to Kezia and said to her politely, what happened child. He used to live with her. जब वो उसको छूते हैं बेटी को, तो उसके हाथ पैर बहुत ठंडे हो रहे होते हैं. तो उससे कहते हैं आओ मेरे पास लेट जाओ, अपने पैर मेरे पैर पर रब करो ताकि तुम में थोड़ी सी गर्मी आए. उसके बाद वो अपने पापा के पास बहुत डर के सहम के लेट तो जाती है. बट soon after he listened the heartbeat of her father. That time, that moment, let her feel that her father is also a normal human being who has a heart. And because he done so hard work for the family, that's why he's not having a time to talk to her, and that's why he became very rude. Otherwise he is a very kind hearted person. After believing this and realizing this, Kezia slept very nicely, and that night changed the view regarding her father, that her father is a very nice person. That's the all in the summary of the lesson. If anything is still ununderstandable for you, just say it to me.